Hello and welcome to the annual meeting of shareholders of Amer Sports Inc. Please note that today's meeting is being recorded. During the meeting, we will have a question and answer session. You may submit questions or comments at any time by clicking on the message icon. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chair of today's meeting, James Zhang, Chief Executive Officer and Director of Amer Sports Inc., and Yuta Carlson, General Counsel of Amer Sports Inc., and Inspector of Elections and Secretary of today's meeting. I will now turn the meeting over to James. James, the floor is yours.
This meeting is officially called to order. Good morning and welcome to the 2026 Annual General Meeting of Shareholders of Amer Sports Inc. I'm James Zhang, Chief Executive Officer and the Director of Amer Sports Inc. In accordance with the Second Amendment and the Restated Memorandum and Articles of Association of the company, and with the consent of the directors present at this annual meeting, I will be present as the chair of this annual meeting. I'd like to acknowledge that we are hosting this annual meeting virtually. With the virtual format, we believe that we are able to provide more of our shareholders with the opportunity to participate in today's meeting. Joining me today are members of our board and the members of our executive team. In order to conduct an orderly meeting, we ask that shareholders abide by the procedures set forth in the rules of conduct posted to the meeting online platform. We will conduct the formalities of our annual meeting first. The polls are open for voting. All shareholders present in person or by proxy who are entitled to vote at this meeting have the ability to do so online. Please remember that if you have appointed a proxy to vote for you, but you have now attended this meeting virtually in person, any such proxy you deemed revoked and your proxy will not be able to vote on your behalf, or such vote will not be counted. Only your vote in person will be counted. After the Secretary's description of the proposals to be voted on today, we will close the polls and provide the Inspector of Elections preliminary report. After the close of voting, we will adjourn the formal portion of the meetings and immediately convene a question and answer session. Questions may be submitted following the procedures described in the rule of the conduct. Though we may not be able to answer every question, we will do our best to provide a response to as many as possible. Will the Secretary please report on the proof of notice of meeting and the determination of quorum?
Thank you, James. The Board of Directors fixed the close of business on March 20, 2026 as of the record date for determining shareholders entitled to vote at this meeting. The quorum for this meeting is one or more shareholders entitled to vote and present in person or by proxy, or in the case of a shareholder being a corporation, by its duly authorized representative, representing not less than 1/3 of the total votes attached to all issued and outstanding shares of the company throughout the meeting. We have been informed by the Inspector of Elections that the quorum is present in person or by proxy for purposes of transacting business. As a result, we can proceed with the business of the meeting. An affidavit from Computershare Communication Services has been delivered attesting to the distribution of the notice of the meeting, the proxy statement, and the 2025 annual report to all shareholders as of the record date, and will be incorporated into the minutes of this meeting. I propose to dispense with the formality of reading the notice of the meeting. If any shareholder disagrees, please make your objection known at this time. Since there is no objection from any shareholder, I declare the notice convening this meeting be taken as read. The first purpose of this meeting is to lay before the meeting the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2025, and the reports of the directors and auditors of the company thereon. I will now present the two proposals to be voted upon. Details for these proposals have been provided in your proxy materials. If you have any questions regarding these proposals, please save your questions until the two proposals have been presented, after which we will leave time for questions. Proposal 1 is the election of directors by way of plurality of votes. The Board of Directors has nominated Bruno Seltzer, Dennis J. Chip Wilson, Kin Hua Stephen Yu, and James Zheng. In accordance with the second amended and restated memorandum and articles of association of the company, shareholders are required to provide advance notice of their intent to nominate candidates for directors. No such notice has been received. Therefore, the director nominees named in the company's proxy statement are the only persons eligible for election at today's meeting. The board unanimously recommends you to vote in favor of each such nominee. Proposal 2 is the approval and ratification of the appointment of KPMG LLP as the independent accounting firm of the company for the year ended December 31, 2026. Approval of Proposal 2, which is an ordinary resolution, requires a simple majority of the votes cast at this meeting. The board unanimously recommends that you vote in favor of ratification of the appointment of KPMG LLP. Is there any question regarding the audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2025, or any of Proposal 1 or Proposal 2? As there are no questions, I now put Proposal 1 as set forth in the notice of this meeting to be voted by way of the plurality of the votes, and Proposal 2 as set forth in the notice of this meeting to be voted by way of an ordinary resolution, which requires a simple majority of the votes cast at this meeting. I will now turn the meeting back to the chair.
Thank you, Jutta. The polls have been opened and are about to be closed. If you wish to vote virtually online, please follow the instructions on the screen. We will pause for a moment to allow shareholders an opportunity to submit their votes.
Now that everybody
everyone has had the opportunity. Yes, now that everyone has had the opportunity to vote, I declare the polls closed for the 2026 annual meeting of shareholders.
We have been informed by the Inspector of Elections that the preliminary vote reports show that each of the 4 nominees for election to the board have been elected to hold office for terms expiring on the date of the 3rd annual meeting of shareholders following this annual meeting, and until their successors have been duly elected and qualified, or until such persons resign, retire, or are removed in accordance with the terms of the second amended and restated memorandum and articles of association of the company. The selection of KPMG LLP as the company's independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2026 has been duly approved and ratified. We will report the final vote results in a Form 6-K to be filed with the SEC.
Thank you, Jutta. This concludes the formal business of today's meeting. Since there are no other matters to come before the meeting, the official portion of the 2026 annual meeting of Amer Sports Inc. is now adjourned.
Thank you, James. We will now turn to the question and answer session. And as no questions have been submitted, this concludes our question and answer session.
Thank you. And thank you all for participating. This concludes our meeting, and we will now close this call. Thank you very much.